Before we get started on the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell right here so you can get all my future notifications. Welcome to Paul's Toolbox. Today we have a cool project. I'm going to be touching on a stone coat epoxy job. You can check out Stone Coat Countertops YouTube channel or stonecoatcountertops.com. This guy has some excellent stuff, some projects that'll blow your mind using epoxy. What I'm going to do is make some type of a marble table, but I want to have an insert design right here. So I'm going to take and run a line straight down the middle of this. This is a 24-inch top by 48 inches. So we'll start here with my first line. Now I'm going to want to make a small circle here. I'm going to use this. And I'm going to make a larger circle, which is, this is 6 inches, this is 4.5. I'm going to go with another smaller one right here. And we're going to cut out a little line or a center part for that. So now we're going to take and mark off 8 inches from here and go to the center over here. My center will be 24 inches. So once I lock this in, put a little line right here. And then over here, I'm going to go down to 8 inches. So we'll bring it down to 8. And the same thing on this other side. We'll start off with our center one. One on top of the other. Get them all lined up. When I have them lined up, we're going to drill a hole through the top of it. I'm going to clamp these together. I wanted to give you an idea of what it's going to look like, so I just marked out my lines here. We're going to rip this, bring it out. I'm using these work sawhorse tables, and boy, they come in handy. They have their own clamps, so bite down on this. Be real careful with a hole saw this big. If it bites on there, it can really jerk your arm. So make sure you get a good handle on it. I'm going to use my jaw stand. This has clamps in it to hold boards. You can turn it sideways. You can do all kind of things with this. But I'm going to use it as a table guide to stand to hold my plywood when my MDF when it comes across. I'm going to bring that line in 2 inches. And I'm going to go 2 inches over. We have this marked off. I'm going to cut it right out. This is a spider blade. These are my favorite blades when it comes to reciprocating saws or jigsaws because it has teeth on both sides. This part's smooth, so it rides on your bearing. You can find these at Home Depot or Lowe's. I'll have a link in the description box at Amazon if you want to get it that way, but you can purchase this locally. Great little blades. I don't have anything to do with spider, but I like these tools or their blades. All right, I'm going to use this as a guide so I can get a nice straight cut. Watch how easy I can just cut a circle with this. I'm using 1.25 inch nails. I'm making the inside oval and round, so I'm going to go ahead and round off these corners. Now to pour this, we're going to put 16 ounces of resin and 8 ounces of the hardener because it's 2 to 1. All right, we will take this and we will mix it up for 10 minutes. Take your time, mix it up slowly. You see how it stays clear? If you stir it by hand, you're going to keep from getting bubbles. We don't worry about the regular epoxy because you're not going so thick and it's easy to get the bubbles out with a torch. If you don't want any bubbles, you can stir all of it by hand, but it's faster to stir the other with a drill. This, you never want to stir with a drill because you want this to be nice and clear. So, I'm going to mix this baby up. All right, we're ready for the next stage of this. I'm going to be using a wire brush right here. These can be purchased at Harbor Freight. I'll show you a link in the description box. I buy the whole kit. It's like $7 or $8 a lot of times, sometimes even lower when it's on sale. And I'll have the link. I'm not sure exactly how much it was, but they're very inexpensive. You get a few of these in a kit. And this is made for metal work, so you clean off your metal with this. I use it all the time for my wood. It works great. Well, right now what we're going to do is we're going to chip the edges and make it look more like a rough edge marble. So let's get started on it. This is imperative to wear safety gloves. You want to wear some eye protection and some dust protection because we're working with MDF or anything like this when you're sanding a lot. But it's not going to be a lot of dust on this, but you still want to protect that. You see, if I hit it this way on there, it's going to want to kick up. I don't want that. I'll go down with this, and on the bottom, I'll go this way. Notice right here, I'm just stopping right on the edge because I want to keep that stripe solid, nice and smooth. So I'm just going to tap it right across the top here and put little chips in it. I wiped it down with denatured alcohol, so I'm going to use frog tape. I like this tape because it has a glue underneath it, so the paint doesn't seep under there. When it gets wet, it bonds a little better. This stuff is good. I like it a lot better than any of the other tapes that I've used. You can be a little bit back where you see the blue. You don't want to be over this because that's where you'll see a line. That tiny bit's not going to matter. First part I want to get is down here along the edges. And I'm just going to let it, whatever falls on the top, that's okay. And whatever hangs down here, it's no problem. This is kind of like a silly string though, but it works really well. You don't want to have any set pattern, you want this random. You want to cover it pretty well. it's just going to give that little web look underneath my clear coat. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Now, I'm going to come back over with my metallic black, hit the edges, then I'll come back across the top. And you see this comes right off. Alright, I'll fade a little bit up on top. And this is more metallic look than anything because it's almost black. It's like a charcoal gray because of the metallics, but that metallic will really sparkle, I think, underneath all of it. All of that's going to be super smooth once it's underneath the clear coat. All right, you guys, we're at a sticking point or a stopping point. My next video, I'm going to show how I did the clear coat on top of here. It's hard to believe that this came out of just MDF. Really cool stuff. This epoxy makes wonders. You can do so many things with it you wouldn't believe. I want to touch on some of the steps that I did for this. Part of this was a mistake. I'm learning as I go with some of this. I'm trying out new things. And when I did this right here, this center part, I wasn't sure how much I'd need to fill it. You know how I overfilled it and came over to the side. I made this little mold. That way the stripe goes all the way and it looks like it's solid all the way through when it's not. I took this center part and I put 24 ounces in there because I knew 24 ounces were not going to fill this, but I figured it would give me a gauge to go off of. After that, I mixed another 24 ounces. That 24 ounces got me to where I was 1/8 of an inch shy of being at the top of the table. This channel right here was 1/8 of an inch lower. Thought to myself, why mix up more of the same color? Let's go with clear. That way I'll have that three-dimensional look. I have a step down right here. You can't feel it, but you can see it. That 1/8 of an inch I filled with clear epoxy. I didn't mix anything else with it. I just mixed 8 ounces and filled that up. This clear coat is going to be on the very next video. And what I want to do is have some projects where I build something, and then we're going to have an Epoxy Friday where we pour it. And we'll have all types of things. I've got some things that I've already prepared for you guys, and I can't wait to get it out there. It's going to surprise you, some of them. This right here is super slick, but look at this. It's like glass. This thing looks great. If you look at it up close, you can see the webbing in here that we sprayed. And then if you look at it in the shadow or inside, it looks black. Out in the sun, all you see is the sparkles from the metallic and the webbing down here. I really like this table. Came out great. I can't wait to do some more projects for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out paulstoolbox.com for all my archive videos, and I'll see you guys later.